a beautiful afternoon. Welcome to the show. It's your social media, amazing, beautiful program. And this is The Buzz. I am Rose Blossom Mwe, and of course I have our very regular guest for today, Monday. It's a new week, and happy new week to everyone out there. But before we go into discussion, I would like to introduce my amazing guest. We're already talking behind the camera before coming up, so we have a lot to say today. But from my very near right here is Mr. Akogun Gani Balogun.
Mr. again.
Chief. Okay, let me do this.
It's Akogun.
Akogun, okay, Akogun Gani Balogun, and this is Osiare Ono Kakanfo for the entire Yoruba land, and he's a social commentator and also a journalist. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, welcome. How was it having to be here today? No traffic.
I'm always from my area now.
Oh, wow. Well, we encountered some coming all the way from...
Normally, if an area is blocked, another area will be free.
Okay, yes, and of course, next is Tochukwu Ezekama, who is a writer and a social commentator. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And of course, Chief Godi Ofose, who is a journalist, brand analyst, and a social commentator. I mentioned Chief today.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
The only guy on the show. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for coming today. We have a lot to talk about today. But first, I think we're talking about the state of the nation. And basically, we heard about the killings as... Akogun said he doesn't want to use massacre, is the killings. But let's talk about this first before we go to the topics of today. What would you say, because we're having different reports. Some said it's 64, some say 43 rights farmers, and according to the international news, they're saying it's about 100 plus. What do you have to say, Akogun?
Well, even one person dead is too much. So we can argue all day about the figure, but let's just accept that something bad happened and we are all liable. Not directly, but basically as part of the Nigerian system. Because the original story as told by the Daily Trust was that these Boko Haram guys, as they do normally, will come into villages to raid them, take their rice, take their money, and all that. But this time the villagers thought they had enough. And decided to take the one that came, took his rifle and dealt with him. Now, three things occurred to me, both as a father and as an adult. Once that happened, it's common sense that there will be reaction. What did the Nigerian military do when they heard the original story to protect these farmers? What did the Nigerian police, what did they do to protect them, knowing fully well that we are talking about 10 kilometers or thereabout from Maiduguri. So it's not 200 kilometers away, somewhere in the bush. It's right, it's like something's happening in Songo and or Ifo, and then you're talking about Lagos. What did we do to protect these guys? Nothing. They were left to the elements and they were slaughtered. And that to me is an indictment, not only of the federal government, but those he appointed on merit to run our security infrastructure. It's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Okay, okay, Tochukwu, please. Okay, we learned that we didn't have any federal government representative right there at the burial. What would you have to say concerning this fact?
Well, it's heartening that the federal government didn't deem it necessary to be represented at the burial. But for one thing, it's a failure of governance that Boko Haram is still around. What you mentioned, you talked about number, whether it was 43 or 68 or 108, and like Ora and Kamfo said, the number might be irrelevant. The important thing is that it shouldn't be happening. Even if it's just one person, we should feel very bad about it. The Nigerian government has a penchant for falsehood, so I tend to think they tend to understate the fact. Already they've told us that Boko Haram is technically defeated, but Boko Haram continues to strike at military targets, strike at civilian targets. Boko Haram continues to prove itself a potent and varied fighting force. So how has it been defeated? And the insensitivity of the federal government, which is not peculiar to the Buhari administration, the Goodluck Jonathan administration dramatized such insensitivity to an extent that boggled the mind, and the Buhari administration is also continuing it. How can people die due to a direct failure of federal government responsibilities, and you didn't send even one representative? So invariably they are telling the people, we don't care. And that's what has been the problem in Nigeria. Our leaders do not care. They told us those days when we were in elementary school that democracy is the government of the people, for the people, by the people. But the Nigerian democracy is an aberration, because you keep wondering, if we are the people and it's for the people, by the people, why are we being treated like subjects of some dictatorial, despotic king, you know? So it was very bad that there was no federal representative at that burial.
Okay, on what you just said, President Muhammad Buhari actually condemned the killing of farmers by Boko Haram. That was on Saturday. And of course, the federal government, according to them, has given the armed forces the support to tackle insecurity in the country. This was said by the presidential media aide, Gaba. Now, him saying this and not being present at the burial, what does it say entirely? Because it's quite, I don't know, it's quite saddening that you are saying you are against such an act, but yet there was no representative at the burial. Mr. Koji?
Well, you have said it all. He said he condemned the, Mr. President has always condemned any dastardly acts committed by the terrorists, even bandits and those who call bandits. I don't call them bandits. I say they are terrorists, because you can't differentiate their actions from the Boko Haram people. It's unfortunate that we are having this kind of situation in Nigeria. Again, I feel that the federal government, the state government generally, they have not done enough. You came out in your first tenure to say that the Boko Haram has been defeated, technically though. I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing that you have defeated somebody and it's a technical defeat. I don't know. I don't know what that means anyway.
It's from boxing.
Technical knockout.
So I feel that the federal government is helpless. I use that word because it looks like you keep condemning and this thing keep happening. It involves human beings. Like I saw yesterday how these people were laid in state. I mean, it's a very sad situation. I saw a number of people at once that it wasn't a natural disaster. It was a bare act of wickedness by some people. Like from what I read from people, they said some of them were beheaded. They beheaded some and they put the body, they put the head on the body of the person. You could imagine that. And you are saying that you are condemning it. You are not taking action. What is that?
Nobody has resigned.
Nobody has resigned. Even the Northern Elders Forum came out to say, please let this current service chief go. He said that yesterday. Let them go. Everybody is singing the same song. Now we are now governing the country for the president. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think, like I said yesterday on social media, I said, if this kind of thing happened in some countries, even some presidents would have lost, they would have resigned. The governor of that state wouldn't have mustered enough courage to go to that place to conduct their burial. It would have resigned. But this is the only country that even if the entire country is burned down, the president, the chief of staff, the police chief, the governor, the deputy governor, all of them sit tight. What they do is to ask the media aid to issue a statement. And I blame the media for always carrying those stories. It doesn't make sense. And why would a president, who your people, let's say 43, were brutally murdered in cold blood? They were working. They were not lazy. They went to farm. That should move you to take action. Even if it's for you to lead that war from the front, you should do it. But you and your vice president are sitting tight in the office. You couldn't send even your vice to go to Borno State to see how those people were buried. The same thing happened in Benue State, where about 76 people were buried in one day. In a country that you are leading, you are governing. It doesn't make sense. A police chief is there. Okay, let's say this is an internal issue. Don't we have police stations in Borno State? And I heard that all these local government were taken from the Boko Haram. And where are they staying? At where in Nigeria boundary or Niger or Chad boundary that they are staying? That we cannot, comb the entire environment and bring them out. What is going on? Trump lives in the US, and He promised that he's going to see the end of ISIS in Syria. And he did it.
That was Obama.
No, Trump recently.
Trump finally.
Trump finally. He did it. He's in US. He did it.
You call that.
Now, no, let me not use the Nigerian terminology. The ISIS has been, not technically, has been defeated. So why are we doing this? Up to today, we have not had the Minister of Information speaking on this issue. He should have addressed a press conference because he's the government spokesperson. He has not said anything. Everybody is quiet. In a country, those people, I keep asking, that some of these things that happen, it looks like it's a distance for you. That's why you are not feeling the emotion. Just imagine that your parent or your brother is involved in those things. How would you feel? Would you ever believe in a country called Nigeria? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The human life in this country doesn't mean anything anymore. If some people could just come into a village. I was reading this morning from an online news portal that the residents are saying that they already informed the army that these people were coming and they didn't do anything.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, we have Governor of Ekiti State. He said something which is a very good one. He said he noted that with distress, the killing has raised serious questions on the general security situation, and of course, he requested that there should be adequate arrangement to protect the lives of Nigerians living in vulnerable communities. And would agree that these people actually stay in a very vulnerable place because most of these lands are usually used for farming, and they don't have, like you said, there are police stations there. So what were they doing? And definitely we have soldiers that also, assigned to such states. What were they doing?
Blossom, these killings are not only taking place in vulnerable places. You are aware that in Ondo State, a royal father was killed recently, last week.
Okay.
Somebody was picked by the, what do they call it, herdsmen. They are everywhere. It's not on. In fact, if Lagos had bush everywhere, this same thing will happen. The only thing is that we are a bit cosmopolitan in nature. You don't see a thick bush, thick forest everywhere.
That's what makes them more vulnerable.
No. How many places in Nigeria can you count as Lagos, apart from Abuja and Lagos? Every other state, apart from this state, is vulnerable, if you want to put it that way.
Okay.
The thing is that these governors can make these statements, and they make them for political reasons. They don't even care. And the press, you wondered about why the press will keep issuing. The press will issue the statements
or publish it
because the average press man is hungry and needs some money. He who pays the piper dictates the tune. The question: who owns the big TV stations? Who owns the newspapers? They are all part of the power elite. Some of them are even governors, some are senators. And what do you expect pressmen to do? So this issuing of press releases do not mean anything. And the situation could have been much better. There would have been more security in Nigeria if the governors are genuinely interested in securing the security within their community. Our governors on the average make 500 million naira every month, unaccounted money, for security vote. What do they do with that money? So the former governor, I think it was Ogun State. I may not be, I'm mixing the name up. Okay, I think it's Ogun State or your state.
What's his name?
Ajumbo, the one
Yeah,
that wears
Oyo State.
the one that wears long
Or your
hat,
state,
eh?
who died?
Oh,
He's late
no,
now.
I think it was Ogun State. He had 1,000 rifles and 1 million ammunition, bullets. He garnered these things for election, for the 2019 election. It was after the election that he failed. Oshomole had insisted that the party decides who takes over, not the governors. He handed these things over to the police.
Okay,
So
Ajumobi.
Ajumobi, is it Ogun State?
Yes.
Okay. Oyo State.
Amusu.
Okay, so the thing
Almost
is,
is
so he had the military might, 1,000 guns and 1 million pieces of ammunition. That can check any Fulani headsman. That can maintain law and order in the state. But he had it to serve his personal and political interest, not the interest of the people. So if the governors are for real, there will be more peace, more security, more prosperity for the average man.
Okay, we are hoping that things get better because this is
Blossom, I
quite
also
very
believe that.
sad.
I also believe that at the end of the day, the call for this restructuring could also help. Look, at the end of the day, if you go to US, the law in Texas is different from the law in California. Okay?
Okay.
People have their own laws. If I don't want people with arms to come in, because the way Nigeria is structured, it's just like a small little village.
So are you saying each state should have their law?
Yes, when you have a complete, when you devolve power to the state, when everybody can cater for himself, what you do is to send some percentage to the federal government to take care of the army and foreign affairs. Do you understand?
The way it used to be.
The way it used to
Before
be.
the military disrupted.
Yes, when you do that, everybody will stay in his place. Now, the north would begin to go back to the groundnut. The north ground is still fertile for groundnut.
That era is gone.
It's still fertile for groundnut. The east, the soil is still very fertile for the palm tree, palm fruit. From here, they are still in Ogun, they are Ondo State, they are still growing cocoa. Nothing is wrong. Everybody will go back. And all of these things, all of this balkanization of little state, we have Ekiti that cannot take care of himself. We have Ondo State that cannot take care of it. Ondo can take care of it because they have little oil. You have Osun State that if you don't give them a kobo, they will die of hunger. What are we doing? It doesn't make sense. And that is why a governor is looking at the president. If a governor of Ondo State, has he made a statement condemning anything? He hasn't, because he is in the same party with Mr. President. That's why he's refused to make any statement. And his people were being kidnapped and killed.
Okay. We hope the federal government will be swift to respond to this before we have something like this on and on, because it's really very sad. Before that, we have the COVID-19 update cases. We have 82 new cases of COVID-19, which was recorded on Sunday. And according to Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Lagos recorded 48 new cases, and that's the highest for the day. Other states were new cases. River was 8, Kwara 6, Yobe State 6, Katsina 5, FCT 3, and on and on. Nigeria now has 67,412 confirmed new cases, and 63,055 patients have been discharged so far, with 1,173 deaths recorded. Meanwhile, on that note, CBN also reached out to Nigerians, and they introduced a new set of initiatives to help Nigerians cope with this crippling economic effect of COVID-19. Godwin Emefiele made this announcement recently in Abuja, and he said he had a 50 billion targeted loan facility for Nigerians who require small loan to start businesses or help their business stay afloat, for those who might want to make consumptions, of course. And he made it clear that the loans require no collateral. I would like to say this is a good something, yeah? But as at other times where we have CBN bringing out palliative for SMEs and all of that, with my researchers at DEN, we had very, very limited amount of people that were able to get this so-called
because our people really do not trust governments to that level of taking what is theirs, especially people from the south. The people in the north, they know how to exploit all these opportunities that they have, especially the farmers. But in the south, our people tend to be lackadaisical about accessing these facilities that is made centrally for their behalf. So I will not say that you have a whole picture, because whenever a federal government loan, either from CBN or any guys, is given out on state by state basis, those who will access it will probably be a northerner, farmer. Not because they don't have the access, but they simply are not interested. They just want to keep lamenting about their fate instead of working to see whether they can get these loans and work with them.
But I've spoken to some business owners.
Most of them are talking to are basically southerners. I know because I consult for a particular program that the CBN did for us to try to sensitize people at the time. And then when the result came in, we were all aghast. Because despite using the same parameters for everybody, radio, TV, social media, the reaction of those in the north were about 83%. In the south were just 15%. And they received the same message that we gave in different languages. And got to that point, we realized that our people are just not interested.
I'm actually surprised on this report now.
I was too, because when I got to the committee, I was thinking the way you were thinking. But when the data came back, it was obvious.
Okay.
There are people either they don't want to, or they think that the money is too small for them to work
with. Okay.
And they end up just lamenting all around without really assessing.
Lamenting all around. You made a point about the COVID. The number of Nigerians affected with the COVID-19 virus. Well, the number is not really staggering. The number is not disheartening, you know? But then the problem is that
those who have it, not those who have died.
No, those that have it, 67,000 plus in a country of 2 million persons.
200 million.
100 million. No, 200.
200.
Did I say 200? 200 million persons. So the number is not monumental. But the thing is that this number keeps understating the actual number of Nigerians with the disease because of the very low testing rate. Okay, so this doesn't give us the right picture. What has happened in Nigeria over the years is that over the months, people became complacent. Okay, and in some countries of the world, the complacency over the months resulted in a resurge of the disease. And then people started talking about lockdown and all that. The disease is ravaging the US, and something needs to be done urgently. In the case of Nigeria, we don't need a second lockdown, but something needs to be done. Let it be an awareness program. Let it be a sensitization program. But something needs to be done to keep reminding Nigerians that this disease is still there. This disease is deadly. This disease kills, because these days, some people think it's all over. That some people ask you, COVID is still there. COVID is still there. So I think it rests on the government to resensitize the people, put some measures in effect to get people to put their guards up, you know, and respect the COVID-19 protocols. I think it's very necessary. As the thing, on the palliatives, you called it central bank loans.
Yeah.
The palliatives are wonderful, but history has demonstrated that the Nigerian government can be deceitful. The corruption in the system does not allow the government to be effective, especially when it comes to things like this that relates to money. So the average, many Nigerians, especially as you say, Southerners, don't trust the system. So they see it as a waste of money and don't get involved. And every day, the government reinforces this distrust of the system. Look at what happened during the palliatives when we were breaking into warehouses and cutting away palliatives. Some of the foodstuffs have been there for so long. Expired, we are spoiling. So what kind of government is that? The word is wicked, but we can choose more euphemistic words like insensitive. What government can be that insensitive? People are dying of hunger, and you have these foodstuffs stocked away somewhere. So the government is dishonest. We distrust the government, and the government has not done anything to win our trust. So that's what
Mr. Sukama, the government said they were keeping that for second wave, and the first wave we didn't get anything. Talking about palliative, Blossom, you see, in Brand Journalists Association of Nigeria marketing conference on Friday, you see, it was about agric. Now, a gentleman that was on the panel said, look, the Anchor Borrowers Program was to promote agriculture across Nigeria. Agro business, let's say, put it like agro business. Now, the Rice Farmers Association now went to the federal government, now went to the CBN and said, CBN, we want this loan. And CBN said, some of your members came and got the loan, and they have taken the loan away. You have to go and call them back so that they can pay the loan before we can give it. And the gentleman said, look, he asked the CBN that you didn't give the loan to the right people. If you give the loan to the right people, you have the address. How did you give a loan to somebody that you don't have his address? You don't know what he's doing? You see, that is what
we call them briefcase
portfolio farmers. Yes. You see, that is where the palliative comes from. It's always good in the books. It looks so fantastic in the book. In fact, you believe that the entire aim of setting that up will be achieved. No. The problem is that if you don't know somebody somewhere, you cannot get it. In fact, if you know somebody and you are not doing anything, you will get it.
Yeah.
That is how Nigeria is wired. It is. In fact, when the communique is out, I will bring it for you to see what those people, the challenges that they face. The Anchor Borrowers Program is not helping them. It's helping those who are not in the business.
Wow.
So,
and how do you think we can actually tackle this?
It's about us. Like Uzokama said, it's about us. There is nobody that can change this country apart from ourselves. All right? We don't have Ghanaians, Libyans in Central Bank. They are Nigerians. They are Nigerians. So how do you explain that?
So to tackle it is to tackle corruption. And how do you tackle corruption in Nigeria? It's a very complex issue. But Nigeria, for historical reasons, will remain a corrupt country. So the thing is to reduce corruption to a manageable extent, a manageable level. Ghana is still corrupt, but Ghana is not.
The US is corrupt.
UK
is corrupt.
Everywhere, to very little extent.
So what you do
in
is
the case of
minimize.
Nigeria, it's not corruption per se. It is depredation. It's the looting and tearing down of a country.
Yes.
During the days of Awolowo, Zik, and Tafawa Balewa, the politicians will steal 5% and use 95% to do their work. The notoriously corrupt will steal 10% and use 90% to do their work. That was corruption. When the military came, it jumped to maybe 25, 50%. Under a man like Babangida, the project will be over invoiced, so it will be 200%. The whole money will be stolen and nothing will be done. Wow. So it's just gradation in corruption. So if the Buhari administration tried but had to fail because it did not connect with Nigerians emotionally.
No, because the word to fight corruption is a marketing tool. To the word.
Yes.
It's basically a brand name.
Yes.
Okay. So this one I'm going to sell you. It doesn't mean that I want to
do it.
use it. Just that I want to sell it to you. On a lighter note, you know the joke about the Malaysian minister and the Nigerian minister?
Yes.
The one that went to Malaysia and he said, the man has a very big house. I said, how did you do it? He said, look at that express road there. He said, that is 70%. This is 30%.
It's small.
So the Nigerian came back home and invited the Malaysian. So I said, why I said,
your road is so
see
bad.
that road in the bush, 100% here.
0% in the bush, 100%. That's the thing.
Somebody said the Nigerian leaders these days, in the times of the Isaac Awolowo, what they were doing is that they would struggle to get to the top and come back and say, I don't want my people to struggle the way and begin to make ladder. But this one, they make ladder, they climb up, and when they climb up, they take the ladder and pieces it.
Okay.
You know, the level of the way they steal, I don't want to use the word steal, the way they appropriate.
The way they appropriate.
But still means that it has a deprivation. Actually, it's a deprivation of another kind. It's a mental deprivation. Because when you grab the money you will never spend, to train children who will never stay in this country, for your people that you don't even know you had the money, that's the problem we face. Remember the money they saw in the sack somewhere?
Yes.
That was already going bad.
82 point something million, I think.
The reason why the Coup 84 worked before it was derailed was by changing the naira immediately they came. Because a lot of people were keeping the old money somewhere. So once they changed the money, everybody became
made it
poor.
redundant.
Of course, there were exceptions. You know the suitcases that came.
There will always be exceptions.
So what we need to work on really is the fact that we've lost the sense of shame as the Nigerian elite. And I'm putting everybody together. Whoever has ever run a company, know people in government, we've lost that sense of shame to say that what is bad is bad. And unless we go back to that point, we'll just be going around in
circles. Okay. Well, for viewers out there, to join us on the program, I'm sorry I'm saying this late, the number to send a message to, or either WhatsApp or normal SMS, is 0703-510-2283. It's on the screen too. 0703-510-2283. And we're still back to the, let me use massacre this time around. We're back to the massacre, and this time Nigerians react. And Nigerians are saying that we have to tackle, Nigerians tackle Buhari over killings of the rice farmers in Borno, and they say it's either they sack the service chiefs or they should resign. But I will start from you, Mr. Godi. You have to adjust your glasses.
Yes, I just read a very, very insensitive press release from Garuba Shehu, who says that 43 farmers killed by Boko Haram had no clearance to farm. I'm asking myself.
No clearance.
No clearance. The farmers need clearance to go to farm?
Wow.
In the village.
I just got this. This is listen, it's about, these are the very senior journalists that we used to respect. Very senior journalists that we used to respect. See, the problem in this country is that when you are appointed, like Akogun said, you see, that bush, the 100% is here. What they are getting, it will make them sell their soul to anything. Why would a senior journalist release this kind of statement? That somebody was not, when I was in my village fishing, you have to ask me not to go to fishing.
Get permission
so I will not feed my
farmland.
children. What did you give to me to feed my children? To make ends meet?
Oh, wow.
Most irresponsible.
Okay.
It's so irresponsible. How can we do this? And you don't even sympathize.
It's
The
not
condemnation
the farmer's fault.
the condemnation,
Yeah, it's not
it's a
their fault.
fault.
Boko
to die.
Haram did the
No.
right thing. The farmers were at
Yeah, they are fault.
That
so
is
they
it.
practically
Oh,
killed themselves.
You have already.
staggering nonsense.
It's so bad. Why do we do like this? How can a country go on like this?
But he speaks for somebody, not for himself.
It speaks for the
the
president.
president.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So not him. He said what the
No, I
president
am
wanted him to
asking.
say.
No, what God is saying is that those who are very vocal outside government, once they get him, becomes part of
Yeah.
it.
Then you leave the government if you don't want to dance to their tune.
But
As
you
long as
also
you're
said,
working for them, you have to.
don't forget, you also said that the level of poverty does not allow
Allow them to
Allow them to, yes,
come out.
move.
To move.
Poverty doesn't mean material.
Material.
It will be mental.
It's a complex thing. His hometown people may have given thanksgiving because he was appointed an assistant to the government, okay, to the president. So he's there not just for himself, but he's
representing the whole government.
and the pride. Man, I know be my brother, be a spokesman to the president. So he can't just leave. It's a financial thing. It's an image thing. It's a pride thing, and so on.
How many people in Osun State benefit from it?
Not,
You have to
it's a
ask him.
psychological thing. When
my
Obasanjo was president of Nigeria, the average Yoruba man did not benefit from him. But he gave him this psychological satisfaction.
No, he didn't
my
give-
brother,
he didn't give you-
my brother
Akogun, you are
is
Yoruba
the
man.
You are
president.
using the wrong tribe.
No. The elite Yorubas, he may not have, especially those in opposition to PDP. But the average Yoruba man on the street,
The Yoruba,
he meant so
the
much
Yoruba
to him.
did not vote for Obasanjo, if you
Yes,
remember.
he
during
did
the
not vote
first
for
time.
Obasanjo. But once he
Well,
entered,
hold on now. We are all here now. It was when they moved, the Nabas moved in to impeach him,
yes.
that they remember it was their son.
Okay.
So there are two different things.
Okay.
The one we are going on through now, like I told somebody on radio this morning when they insisted I have not spoken, I have not written on it. I said, there's a Yoruba proverb that says, "Alarala roro," the person said he's not feeling any pain. You keep petting him. Pele, sorry. The northerners said they are not worried. Why should it be my problem? If the northern elites, whose people they are killing,
Yeah.
are not bothered. They are not bothered about calling a conference on NSAS. They are calling a conference
on social
Yeah.
media
on their
regulation.
problem. Why should it be my problem
The
to
governor.
cry? Why do you want me to cry more
Gathering in
than
Kaduna to say we condemn ENSAS.
ENSAS protest.
None of them, no governor
So why do you want me?
could say that
You want me
this
from
thing
Ibadan?
is bad.
You want an Ibadan man to cry more? That is because some of these
No,
senators
Akogo, I don't even want to believe that, because when we are saying tribalize some of these things, it makes the country more divided. For me, it is even pertinent for another man to rise up and say this thing is wrong.
It's wrong, period.
It's wrong. We shouldn't let the somebody from Bronu or Ndume to speak about it. Other man should say, because it should come to you. When the bombs were blowing in Madala from Niger State during Jonathan, it was in Borno State. The moment he get to Abuja, they realized that this thing don't enter here.
Yeah.
So at the end of the way this thing is going on, it will get to somewhere. So all of us should stand up and speak up, because we need to.
You don't get the logic of what I said.
I do.
The logic is this. Let me use another one. Yorubas again will say, the person want to give you clothes. First look at what he's wearing.
Yeah.
You cannot escape it.
Yes.
If the man who is from that region is the president, appointed northerners to handle security for Nigeria on merit, and they are not getting results and nothing is happening, it's not for me to cry more.
Dan.
Because the people, the emirs, the
Sultan.
clerics, are all in cahoots
But
to protect the Buhari presidency.
But-
Why is it me that should cry more?
That's
But
logical.
let me ask this question
Yes.
now. Okay, you don't want to cry more because you feel it is not you.
We've cried enough.
Okay, I'm just saying this now. In as much as it's there, how sure are we that it doesn't even
Gets
come
here.
and get
That's the point we are making. That's why I gave the last proverb. You are, because the person promising to protect you cannot protect himself. Your job is to find ways to protect
protect
yourself.
Protect yourself.
That's the point.
The thing is this, the Boko Haram issue got very complex. And I think in the early days of the Buhari administration, the federal government was beginning to defeat Boko Haram. But a number of things changed. One thing is that some people started benefiting from it. Commercialization of the war, that happens in most wars. The Biafran Nigerian war would have ended in 1968.
But ended the moment of when it fell.
Yes.
Due to the commercialization
By the
of
GOCs.
the war, it lasted up to January 1970.
In fact,
So that's one part of it. People are benefiting. Secondly, Boko Haram has the sympathy of many Northerners. Northern elite.
It used to.
Even
Not again.
within the presidency, there are sympathizers of Boko Haram.
Of course.
Within the presidency.
The government
and
appointee
even in
was
government
jailed in
houses.
Dubai.
So that's why some of these people pay lip service. They speak from both sides of their mouth. Say one thing against Boko Haram and do nothing against Boko Haram. So that's the why things are the way they are. And the Boko Haram insurgency is not ending anytime soon. It's a will continue for a while to come. It's a sad reality, but that's what it is.
Okay, well,
It's
hopefully.
Because, like he said, when Owerri fell in 1968, the war ended. But there are people benefiting from it until Gowon grew some balls, grew some backbone to
Change the div
change the
commanders.
COCs. And then Raz Obasanjo ended it in 3 months. Because they are business partners. Same thing applies to what, if you remember what Governor Zulum
Yes.
said about the army, that he went to a place and there were no presence. People on paper, those people are heavily protected. But in reality, soldiers, according to him, were getting involved in the fishing business in the Lake Chad region. That means some people have created an empire. And the last thing they wanted to do was allow the war to end.
Yes.
And Mr. President's, I don't want to use the word inability, Mr. President's refusal to change the service use is an indication that there are more to this than
I
this.
mean,
That meets the eye, yes. For sure.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. Don't forget, you can join us on the program. Send your messages via WhatsApp or just a normal message to this number 0703-510-2283. And this next one is federal government asks for 1 week to review the petrol price. Let me just do a brief reading. The federal government has requested for a week break from discussion with organized labor to consult on the new petrol price increase. The group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Miliakari, made a request on Thursday at the meeting with the leadership of the organized labor at the banquet hall, Presidential Villa. Now, it was agreed by both the labor and the government team led by the secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, that the meeting should be adjourned and should be resumed on December 7th. Now, Labour has asked the government to reverse the recent fuel price increase, saying that the increase negates the agreement reached in September, and the petrol price has increased about 4 times in 2020. Now, it has risen from 121 to 123 in June, and in July 140 to 143, while in August 148 to 150. And right now it sells at 165, between 165 to 168 per litre. And of course, Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, at the end of the meeting, which lasted 4 hours, reported that the federal government team would relay the position of Labour to President Muhammad Buhari, of course, who is the Minister of Petroleum, and also to the economic management team because funds are involved. Now, Comrade Joe, who is the Deputy President of the National Labour Congress, said that it was believed that when the parties resume to negotiate on December 7th, the reversal must have been effected. Now, it's for me, I feel like why you are joining this meeting. Okay, yes, fine. You want to meet the Minister of Petroleum, our presidency. But do we think there's actually going to be a reversal? Because according to them, it's based on the economic standard we have right now. That is why there's an increase. But it's taking 1 week. And of course, the comrade NLC are saying that by December, even before December 7th, when they will have their second sitting, they should have reversed the price and it should be in effect.
Blossom, I feel that government is not sincere.
Okay.
If we have fully deregulated the downstream sector, you don't need to have any meeting with anybody. It's the economy of
forces of demand and supply.
That is just what it is. That means that the government has not been sincere. They know what they are doing. And I'm telling you, by the time the next government come in 2023, all of these things will be uncovered. Whether we are fully deregulated or
no.
there is still subsidy being paid somewhere. Because I don't understand. If you said that the only thing that you said was electricity bill, that one is not fully deregulated, right? Federal government is still paying some substantial amounts to the operators, to those who are the discos.
And it's privatized?
Yeah, it's not fully privatized.
Oh, okay.
It's not fully privatized because what happened is that we shouted that time because government has to subsidize that sector. We are not fully ready to pay the full, because look, at the end of the day, what the government gives you is what you pay. At the end of, if the electricity company want to implement the full rate, so many Nigerians will not have light. Will not, because it's expensive. So coming back to the petroleum pump price, and you are telling us that you are going to use 1 week to review it. You should have done these things and in fact, if at the end of the day, even if they reduce it, like I used to say, Oshomole was the one that took us backward a long time, going on strike every day. At the end of the day, nothing happened. They will have meetings upon meetings upon meetings. The man, Obasanjo, you know the kind of person he is, he will stuck to his gun. He will not even blink. At the end of the day, when you're tired of staying at home, you will go. When you're tired of staying at home, you will go to the market. People were just willingly going out. They will call up the strike. It's just, let us continue. If the federal government says they are fully deregulated the sector, let them continue. The next person will come and we will know whether Buhari told us the truth.
Right. Okay, but if I'm supposed to throw this out now, if they are saying, okay, what's the idea, what's the range you think you would want this fuel pump price to be? I don't know. For me, I feel like if you can go back to I'm saying that people smiling 65 years.
Is it what we want or what it should be?
What it should be right now.
We know what it should be, because I think it was Winston Churchill who once said that the Soviet Union is an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Something, an enigma, you can't understand it. And you also wrapped it in a riddle. So the fuel issue in Nigeria, the subsidy, the landing cost, the cost of petroleum in Nigeria, they are all one big riddle, one big enigma wrapped in a riddle. So until they start deciphering these things for us, and then we start understanding, we are in the dark. The question is this: Nigeria produces oil. We don't buy crude oil from anywhere. It comes from here.
Yeah.
So if it's our product and all we need to do is refine it, some experts have said that it takes about 40 naira to refine 1 liter of fuel. You send it to where the refineries are. Most of the refineries are owned by Nigerians. So but we send it to Nigerian-owned refineries, they refine them, we pay 40 naira for 1 liter. So that even if you sell fuel in Nigeria for 16 naira, it's still profitable. So then where is this landing cost? Do we buy the oil? We don't.
You buy the refine.
We don't. No. They refine it for us, and we pay for.
Because the port has to generate revenue.
What?
The port has to generate revenue.
Yeah, it's like we gave a good example the other time. You buy your clothes and take to a tailor. The tailor tells it for 5,000. That's what you pay him. You don't pay him for the 60,000 you paid for the cloth plus 5,000. So they have to, first of all, explain these things to Nigerians. For now, it's one big wayo
enigma.
Enigma, actually. But the thing is that if you deregularize
Deregularize.
you see, I go at Jegul school. I don't speak
Don't
grammar.
worry, it's allowed.
Okay, so then you leave the market forces to make the determination. They determine the prices. So you keep tampering with the prices. You push it up, you push it down, and you still, it is deregularized. So it's a one big game. And until we get to the bottom of
the only
this
time
game,
they pushed it down was when we were staying at home.
no, good luck took it to 140 something, later push it down to 87.
Yeah.
So it's been going up,
Yar'Adua brought it down.
one way or the other. So that's,
Yar'Adua brought it down.
Brought it down again.
it kept been going and coming. So they need to tell us the truth. For now, we are being taken for a jumbo ride.
Akwaguntu, what do you have to say about it?
Actually, nothing, because
You don't tire.
this is perhaps the oldest scam we've been having
Wow.
in Nigeria. So I just let them do whatever they want and then wait for the time. Because I keep saying, there is no way out of this unless we have our own refineries. And I'm not talking about those giant
Refineries.
I'm talking about modular ones.
It's coming up.
The earlier we realize that you cannot do things top down, the earlier we will learn sense. Same thing applies to power generation, same thing applies to fuel, same thing applies to taxation. Everything all over the world, things are done from ground up. Nigeria is the opposite. We do it from up down. And then it becomes a problem. That's why I said this is now. In Saudi Arabia, I don't know about other areas, but I know in my area, whenever I go for Hajj, there are 3 giant generators. One for 12 hours, one for 12 hours, one for backup. And according to one Arab man, if the thing doesn't work for 1 hour, he cut his head off. You understand? So there is good and cause because they realize the fact that they have crude oil. So what they did was to ensure that apart from having massive power generating plants, they also have localized plants for occasions for them to work 12 hours backup. Let's do that for areas that, for example, Ikeja industrial estate or Ilupeju. Let them get their own power totally, devoid of going to NEPA.
Yes.
They will start from there. I'm tired of talking about the petroleum thing.
Okay, let me try and speak the minds of Nigerians right now. According to the Niger Delta per se, they do refine their fuels, right? And they sell. And so far so good. We've not really heard maybe the engine broke down or car knock. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So is it that we cannot actually establish these people, whatever refining machine they're using, establish them, enlarge it, and start refining our own crude oil?
Based on my understanding, refining of fuel is not a very complex process. In Biafra, the Biafran government refined fuel. And I was at a place called Uzako after the war, outside of Umuahia. And I saw one of those refineries. It wasn't something spectacular.
Just like
it
this,
was
like doing Ogogoro.
it was crudely put together. And in my mind, as a small boy, this thing refined fuel. So individuals in Niger Delta refine fuel. But you see these fuel refineries, the soldiers, JTF or whatever they call themselves, will break them down, set them on fire. Why don't you standardize them and license them?
Exactly my point.
Yes. So if you have them producing fuel and selling, then we run away from all these subsidy, landing costs, and all the complexity and confusion that come with them.
Yes. Brewing beer is more difficult than refining.
And we have many beer factories around.
See, the problem
it's all political.
You see, the problem is that some people, like I said, it was a sarcastic statement that I said that the Port Authority were making money from the landing cost. That is, see, some people don't want this thing to work. They don't want it. Do you know what it takes for the NNPC to go and import oil? Now, during the Goodluck Jonathan, the Obasanjo era, it was everyone. They give everybody. That's when they have access to Forex and the rest of it. But now they have restricted it. And I'm asking myself, you are deregulating it. You are making one person the sole importer of refined oil. NNPC. What do we call the regulation? You don't give it to everybody. For instance, I don't want to mention if company A goes to somewhere and bring the oil, he can bring his own at a cheaper rate and come and sell for you. So why are you restricting it? Whatever, now, the NNPC has increased the ex-depot price, and that's why we are having another increment. It wasn't because there was an increment at the international market.
Production, yeah.
Do you understand? It was the price increase. So why don't you allow other people to go pick this product up, refine product up, and come and sell at their own rate? Well, you talk about the regulation, and you are allowing only NNPC to do that.
To do that.
Cement, only one man is selling cement.
Okay, but do you think, let me try to stand in the angle of our leaders now. How about probably we're not seeing the very negative effect of having to build our own refineries, maybe with this Niger Deltas? Do you think there's any possibility, like they've probably seen the negative effect of them having to build
Who's seeing the negative effect?
I'm just saying.
I am asking myself. The
leaders.
Listen, the question.
The leaders don't
listen. The question I'm asking myself. A state government like Akwa Ibom State can build a refinery.
Okay.
And will not bother people driving the truck from here to that place to deliver fuel to the state filling station. A state government like Rivers State deserves its own refinery. What are they doing with security votes? And that's my question.
Why can't they buy the ones that are they worried and Port Harcourt?
Because those ones are see, when they build those refineries, if you go to the market now to buy some of those parts, some of them are not there. No, the refineries that are making today, like I said, the parts are so light.
Then let them build new ones.
Are so bad.
Yeah.
Let them let the second earner of federal allocation, Akwa Ibom State, should be able to build a refinery.
They don't have to drive rich to build a refinery.
No, you should be able to have one. What I'm saying is that they can also use that to make money. The rivers, the Port Harcourt, the Bayelsa, they can pick their fuel from there rather than fuel coming to on airports.
Trucks blocking the whole of our.
What are we talking about? What are they doing with money?
It's
your former governor built a stadium.
He sunk so much money into Tropicana that can build a refinery. He built a stadium. Go and check the stadium that they built in Delta State and Ogbebudia Stadium that this man has reformed. If you build a small stadium, you don't even have a viable club that can compete. And you are making it, you call it nest of champions.
I think he has said everything. So Chukwu said, I said maybe they saw something, but he said that they can't see. So if they are building stadium and building all these things, like he said, probably they can't see those things.
He built, your governor built a hospital, state-of-the-art hospital in Uyo, and he was bragging about it. But when he had a minor accident, a traffic accident, he didn't go to his hospital. He went to Germany to be treated. Not a major accident. Bones were not broken. Just to check on, am I still okay? He didn't go to his world-class hospital in New York. He went to Germany. So it's the mindset of the people that are leading us. That's why there's need for protest. I am all for NSAC's protest, and it should continue.
Oh, wow.
No, the government has stopped it.
They can't stop it.
They have. Let me tell you why they stopped it. 2 weeks ago, Shehu Kuti wanted to have a meeting.
Shehu Kuti not NSAC's protest. NSAC's protest technically has no leadership.
Yeah, it has no leadership basically.
And that's why it was hijacked.
We can't talk much about that now because we're supposed to go for the news on the hour, and after that we'll be coming back to talk about the state of the nation. Stay with us, don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome to our viewers here in Nigeria and all around the world. This is Galaxy TV News. I am Kelly Egiga. Let's take a look at some of the stories we are tracking for you at this time. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum on Sunday led kinsmen and other residents at Zibarmari for the funeral of 43 farmers killed by Boko Haram terrorists. Now, at least 40 farmers were killed on Saturday in Jere local government area of Borno State by the terrorists. The farmers were laid on their way to the rice farms which they were harvesting before the surprise attack. Now, some other farmers were also taken away by the criminals. Zulum, during the burial of the farmers, lamented the disheartening event, adding that more than 40 citizens were slaughtered while they were working in their farmlands. He also expressed condolences to the families of the departed. And we stay with that story as the United Nations says the gruesome attack against civilians carried out by Boko Haram insurgents in villages near Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, has left at least 110 civilians ruthlessly killed and many others wounded. The UN resident coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Callon, said this in an interview on Sunday. Now, while condemning the incident, Callon also called for the immediate release of several persons who were kidnapped. Callon also said that such direct attacks against innocent civilians jeopardize the ability for the most vulnerable people to survive the adversity they are facing, which the UN is trying to alleviate. Now, in another twist, the presidency on Monday said that the 43 farmers that were killed by Boko Haram on Saturday did not have military clearance to be on the rice farms when the attack happened. The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, said this in an interview on Monday. He said, while not blaming the victims for the incident, the truth must be said. The president's spokesman said terrorists had planted land mines in several places in Borno State, and nobody ought to go to these places until the military has cleared such places. Away from security matters, the national grid has collapsed again, leading to power outage in parts of the country. This was announced on Sunday by two of the power distribution companies in the country, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company and Kaduna Electric. The Eco Electricity, in its message via its official Twitter handle, said, open of quote, the outage you're experiencing is due to the system collapse of the national grid. The statement further reads that we are working with our TCN partners to restore supply as soon as possible, end of quote. Now, Kaduna Electric, in its message titled National Grid Collapse and shared via its official Twitter handle, said, quote, we regret to inform you that the loss of power supply in our franchise, Kaduna, Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara State, is as a result of the collapse of the national grid. The collapse occurred at about 11:26 a.m. on Sunday morning. That's our package. For more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV or tweet at us at GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at GalaxyTV News. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share your story by sending short videos or clips of the news to 0818 666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly. You can always accommodate your live update and comment. And that's your Galaxy TV News. At this time, we have more stories for you coming up at the top of the hour. I am Kelly Egiga. We urge you to stay with Galaxy TV for the rest of the buzz. Good afternoon.
Okay, welcome back. You're still watching The Buzz, and that was news on the air. Yes, before we go into, State of the Nation, someone asked a question. Of course, one of our amazing viewers said, why is it that the Labour why did the Labour meet without the Minister of Petroleum? And he requested that the fuel pump price should be reduced to at least 120 or less. Comrade Emmanuel Negak from Jos. Thank you for that one. Okay, let's throw the question now. Why do you think
the meeting was held at the presidential villa?
And that's what he's saying.
They met with the Minister for Petroleum.
Was he there?
No, he wasn't there.
But they met in his house.
The news talked about Labour Minister. He didn't mention.
No, I didn't mention him being out at present. So the question is, why are they having a meeting about?
Buhari is the president, the minister.
Yeah, that's the question. Why are they having a meeting without the minister?
You can meet with the Minister of State. It's not a big deal.
Oh, okay, because they are requesting to have 1 week so they could discuss it with the Minister of Petroleum. So the question is, why not even just have the meeting?
I am
together?
asking myself, why is Ms. Buhari putting Minister of Petroleum under his portfolio? If the presidency that he has, you see, has a lot. Because if you are, I don't understand the logic of, getting Minister of Petroleum to yourself. That's what you have always been doing.
Since Obasanjo did.
It is his constitutional prerogative. He reserves the right to do so if he wants. So he is not breaking
It doesn't
any
mean
law.
that if you reserve the right, you must be seen to be doing the right thing. You don't just get the right.
That's another issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is he doing his work well as a president? The answer is no.
Is he doing his well as a petroleum minister?
The answer is no. But
So-
does he reserve the right to retain that portfolio?
At that point,
The
when you
answer
are not,
is yes.
at that point, when you are not doing these two right, at that point you have forfeited the right to keep the thing. You have forfeited it. You don't need to. This is the country. The country does not belong to the president.
That's a constitutional law issue.
Listen, the constitution belongs to all of us.
Yes.
If you are not seen to be doing well on a job, you take it out. You give it to the competent person. I'm not saying Mr. President is incompetent. No, what I'm saying is that the job of a president is big enough, is huge enough for you to begin. Okay, was he at that meeting? No. He has a minister of state who is now running around making statements on petroleum issues, generally, when the superior minister is there not saying anything. What are we talking about? You don't say that. We don't do that.
Okay.
That should have gone to another state, or that should have gone to a very competent person.
Okay, all right, this one is from Udo. Udo says that false subsidy is a scam. And another one, this one is coming from Adelani Ajiboye from Osun State. He says confessional developments in Nigeria are all punishment from God. No amount of discussion can save. Okay, all right.
Too much.
Okay, another one says dishonesty is killing Nigeria and all Nigerians are guilty. I'm not guilty, please. Hassan from Kwara State, thank you for that one. And we have another one on the rice farmers. Based on the rice farmer earlier discussed, in my village, Eha Amufu, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that very well, in Isiuzuiga, okay.
Yeah,
Last week, Saturday, some group of people I know by names and are not even farmers gathered all the rice farmers and obtained loan from World Bank, but the money was never given by to the poor farmers, which was something
That's
you
what I said. I said it because when you look at some of these things, government has a very how would I put it?
Complex process.
No, it's not a complex. It's just the policy of government, especially when it comes to loan facilities for the poor, is always very, very commendable. But at the end of the day, the procedure of obtaining those loans by those that is meant for are always very complex. And I'm asking myself, why would the CBN ask the real farmers to go back and call the people that they gave the loan to come and return before they give it to them? Didn't you know where they live? Didn't you go and supervise the farm? Because before you give a loan for farming, you must go and inspect the farm.
I would say that is a very poor stuff, because this is CBN we're talking about. You should be able to, before you just give out money, you should have, like you said, the right information. And as at then, a lot of people were saying that instead of having to do all of this, why not get the head of all these associations, bring them together? They have BVN. You can always trace them.
The village
Take it out
chiefs,
through them.
Go to the village. But those that took the money and did not give to the farmers, have they been punished? The answer is no.
The CBN can trace them? Can CBN trace them?
They can trace them if they want to. Nobody gives you a loan without knowing who you are.
Because the loan was not given properly, sir.
No, it wasn't given properly because they didn't want to give it properly. Yes. So if they want to, they would have done it. So they are doing this in cahoot with one another. They are all benefiting from the fraud, from the corruption. Simple.
Okay, this one is from Kumban Friday Bala, just Plateau State. Okay, says good day, presenter. What do we actually demand from it? Okay, from a dead mind. And to me, our leaders in this country are not there for us, but for themselves. Because according to him, a dead mind is a dead man. Okay. All right. Well, he's saying that basically every leadership and every other thing is you can't actually ask for something. You can't give what you don't have, right?
Listen,
So,
listen, let me tell you something. If the Nigerians supposed to get something from any government, in 2015, it's supposed to be the government of Muhammadu Buhari. It was like Buhari up to today, despite the indifferent performance, because some people will say he has not done well, some people will say he has done very well. You still have that cult followership. Do you understand? Nigerians in 2015, I was shocked. That was the first time that the sitting president was like, he was contesting from the outside. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the Buhari has never given anybody anything to eat. That from the south, but you can see the followership. You could see everybody coming together to say, it is this man. But what has he done?
But what does cult followership do for a president? You can use cult followership to destroy a country. Adolf Hitler used cult followership to destroy Germany. Ojukwu used cult followership to destroy Igbo land. Although many Igbo still do not believe Ojukwu did them a lot of bad, you know. But he just destroyed Igbo land. So Buhari can use his cult followership to destroy Nigeria.
What would you do when you have a cult followership? What comes to your mind? You are loved. You should give back. Right?
Give back to the
If you have something to give, when you have
that's what I said. When you have something, you can only give. If you don't have it, you can't give it.
Okay. I remember.
It's like
somebody remember. somebody said something. They posted the 2015 Buhari campaign billboard.
Okay.
He said 1 meal a day. So somebody came back and said, I didn't understand it until this very moment.
But if somebody's promising you 1 meal a day, why would you vote for it?
Oh my word, okay. All right. This one is saying
we need 3 meals a day and you're promising me.
okay, no name here, but let's read it. Says, I really appreciate your efforts in opening the understanding of Nigerians. Many thanks to you all. My view concerning this country, Nigeria, is that the so-called Nigerian politicians who always come back to power are all corrupt, and you don't expect corrupt elements to provide anything good in their government. But my question is, why can't we go back to regional system of government so as to manage what everyone has?
Because everybody wants to create a little empire for themselves in one tiny corner, so they too can become godfather.
Regional government. You see, Nigerians keep talking restructuring. I don't think there's a day Nigerians will sit down and say, come, let's restructure. I think it will be a slow process, okay? We're beginning to talk about the state governments handling police, okay? Policing of their states. That will come. That's a step towards restructuring. Zamfara now mines gold and keeps the proceeds, if I do understand them well, keeps in the state coffers. That's restructuring. Other states should mine whatever is in their whatever it is in their state, and use the Zamfara precedents as their legitimate as reason to keep it for themselves. The more complex issues, like in South, the oil, can be worked out.
It shouldn't, because the Northerners are believing that the oil are in the sea and the sea belongs to the federal government. Now, you see, those are the things that, if you talk about the slow process, that we are going to eat the rocks in the process. You see, what we need as a people, look, like I said, we don't need a Ekiti state. We don't need, listen, we don't need river, we don't need Bayelsa. If what happens if Bayelsa, Rivers and Akwa Ibom, and even Cross River State is a one state? Call one state. What happened? What do you think we can achieve?
Are you trying to say they should merge states together?
That is what we did. That is what we did until 87 or 89. I was in Cross River State. We were in Cross River State. And in that Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State were always producing governor. They were always, because Cross River State, we have the smaller landscape compared to Cross River State. We have 31 local government. They have 17. It's not about the landscape. It's about density. The number of people, the density of the individual living in a place. So why do we get Ekiti State? Why was Ekiti State becoming Ondo State and the
military did that?
Why do you do that?
And the more you
divide, because do you know why they do that? Because there is a box in Abuja that everybody will go with a spoon to take and bring to their state, according to your size, according to what you contribute to the national purse. I don't think we need all of that, because you also make governors so lazy. They are not creative. Tell me one governor that's creative. I just told you here that a governor, why don't you tell yourself you can do business as a state governor and make money? People will come and buy and make money. You won't wait for the federal government to give you allocation.
Okay, that's a very good one. We have something here. According to the Lagos State has banned the use of firecrackers, fireworks, because why are we laughing now? Because they sound similar to some guns. Yeah, wait, I need to read this so that Lagosians will know, because there's actually a penalty there. All right, security agencies in Lagos will arrest those selling and using fireworks. Now, the Lagos State government has warned residents against the sale and use of firecrackers or any type of fireworks within business districts as the festive period approaches. Now, the special advisor to the Lagos State governor on Central Business District, Olugbenga Oyenride, said this during a briefing, and he said the law was enacted in response to the irresponsible storage of fireworks, which led to an explosion that caused a devastating fire which claimed one life in central Lagos in 2012. Now, he said at least 30 people were injured and 9 buildings destroyed with losses of millions of naira recorded. Now, he also said that he would arrest those selling and using the device within business districts and residential areas. So no fire.
On that, I think it's a good one. It's a good one.
Looking at what was
people
lost.
Are doing business. I thought it was a blanket ban.
No.
That's it. We are coming into festive season. Those are the things that let us know that your wife will tell you that Christmas is around. Are we not going to the market? Are we not going to buy clothes for children? Those are the things. Those are the signals. So you can't take it away from the people. By the time when I was living in Agege with my brother, it was like always a battle. The other compound and our compound will contribute money, go and buy all these canisters. All these canisters. We will be throwing into the compound. They will throw into our compound. So it was it was like fun. You understand? If you cannot do it, you drop the money. They will buy it. Those who will do it, they will do it. But I think at the end of the day, throwing all these canisters in the business district area, you are creating panic. Someone may even collapse in the bank if he's in the bank, thinking that those bad boys have come.
But they also said residential areas too.
Residential, that's what I'm telling you. They cannot take it away from the people. It's not possible.
What
I'm saying is that government leave the what people need to tackle what people don't need. Look, that's what we were criticizing the Northern government. Yeah. They congregated at the Kaduna government house to have a meeting over answers, and they tempted a regime change protest. Now, you saw people who came in a village and killed 43. According to your own number, you don't consider it a regime change action. What are we talking about?
Okay, all right, let's move on to the next one before we go. Nigeria to pay 4,000 naira monthly for solar system presidency, of course.
Solar system.
Yes, we know about that because they've commenced already the installation of solar system nationwide, and that costs 140 billion naira. We are always dealing in billions, Nigeria. Wow. Okay, so the solar system is as important. I really don't want to even go into the story, but basically, we are going to be paying 4,000 naira. My question is this the way out? Are we trying to say electricity is not working, so we have to go?
I don't mind. I don't mind to pay 4,000 naira if I have it.
But how are you so sure that this solar system now is still going to work?
No, if it works, that's what it is. You can't pay for what is not working.
Okay.
If the NEPA cut your light, it's not going to bring bill to you. Is it?
I don't understand. So we pay 4,000.
They will.
They
will not bring it.
No, they will know, because I saw a video one time.
That is abnormal.
It's estimated bill now.
No, if they cut light, you have not had light for.
Yes, I'm
So
saying.
let's still bring light bill to this.
Of course.
Bill. I don't know about that.
to your phone.
Let me ask you, we'll pay the 4,000. So that is for the government to raise 140 billion to install solar. Okay. And after that, just once?
No. They are going to install.
Across Nigeria.
Then we are going to be paying 4,000 naira per month.
Across Nigeria.
To use, yes.
Do you know that there are some villages in this country that don't have electricity?
They don't even know what electricity is.
Do you know
Let
that?
me ask you, what of all the efforts made so far to get our, we keep calling it NEPA, to get NEPA working. And what of the privatization and all the money that went into it, the loan that we're giving to them?
That's exactly.
Until
So
I left,
what
until I
happens-
left,
So that one is abandoned. This is to supplement NEPA effort.
Yeah.
No, basically they are to give you.
until I left my village in
Give you option,
1999,
okay.
I didn't see NEPA. It was in 2005 that they have electricity.
Okay.
I'm telling you, there are some villages.
Actually, the problem with our government basically is that they take a good idea and turn it into a scam. For the people of the savannah, they can use wind
Yes.
to generate.
Don't this
So
one.
that's why you can use water to generate. But we insisted on hydro, basically, and they don't want to use nuclear. Other people use. I keep saying it. Don't do things from top down. It will not work.
Do it from bottom up.
Solar should be a community thing.
State.
Not even a state
State thing. It's not shouldn't be a federal thing.
at all. Should be a community thing. Abule Egba should
Local
decide.
government.
Abule Egba alone should
decide whether they want
okay,
to
want to use solar for 50% of the power needs, and they should go ahead and do it.
do it.
But to now make it a federal issue is basically to
That's
create.
just to siphon money.
Okay, somebody just responded to your question. He said, Oga, NEPA will bring bill after cutting your light, or even when you have a faulty transformer for more than
Tell them to pardon me, I'm using prepaid. That's what I don't do.
I was about to share an experience because there was a video that was making its rounds on social media
No.
where NEPA officials or PSCN officials came to cut their wire and all of that. And the guy was like, we've not had light for weeks. He can't even detect which wire to cut because there's no power supply. So he had to make calls to the office and tell them, please, you should bring light to this particular compound
So
because I need to cut this.
Bring it first so I can cut it.
Oh my word, Nigeria is just an amazing place. We are survivors no matter what they bring to us.
You've got the video of the man who opened his door for the NEPA man and allowed him to put up the something, allowed him to go up.
And now
then he brought out his
First
dogs.
dog, yeah.
He said,
I told you something now, just about last week. I was at home, so I didn't come to work. They came and they said they want to check my meter. I said, I'm using prepaid meter. He said, I should have written PPM, that's prepaid meter. And I said, Oga, I'm using prepaid meter. No, you should know from you. He said they know.
Why are you here?
He said, okay, and now call my dog. I said, wisdom, come. He said, okay, Oga, close your door.
Oh my word, it's amazing. Okay, Lagos State have destroyed 1,700 shanties, recovers illegal substances at Agege. As much as they recover these things. Now you destroy these things. Where are these people going to go to?
What is illegal
Because
substances?
they don't have. I believe they don't have places they can stay.
Basically.
Indian hemp.
Basically.
Indian hemp and other dangerous drugs, cocaine, skunk, tramadol, different things were gotten from there.
Well,
that's my area.
Oh, really?
Yes, we had a serious when the NSAS protest broke out. When they hijacked it, the one in my area took a different turn. It became a Yoruba Hausa fight, and they were burning a lot of houses. And because these
shops,
Wow.
yes, they almost broke into First Bank in Fagba. I'm telling you, it wasn't an NSAS protest. It became a tribal issue.
Pure mayhem.
Do you understand? And because all of those guys in my area, because they plenty so much, the outside boys that they bring from the truck,
They
and they
don't
don't have a home. Somebody will just give them Okada, and they will start jobs, and they sleep on the road. So when anything happens, they don't care.
Wow.
So I am excited that the state government have decided to remove those shelters. But my problem is that the state government has done this time, during Ambode, they did it 2 times.
No, they did it regularly.
They did it regularly, but those guys just came back.
But why won't they come back? You're not solving the problem. You are
No,
reacting to
the
it.
point
The thing is that there's
government-
homelessness. There's joblessness.
Ness.
People have to earn a living somehow. So if these people build up shanties, what you do is regulate the shanties. Shanties are people's homes. They have wives, they have children. They sleep in there, they keep their things there. So to just move in and bulldoze the
again,
place
you don't
is
know-
insensitive,
you don't
it's irresponsible, it's wicked. And then they come back. So what kind of a man? Think of the desperation of a man who gets his house broken today. The next day he comes and builds in the same place. You break and he comes
do you want me
again.
to
He
ask-
has no choice. It's like when they were driving street hawkers. People hawk on the street because they are desperate. Okay? So these are problems that need to be solved on the long run, but need to be sympathized with on the short run. Go in there, enforce sanitation rules. Go in there, make sure things work well. There are criminals in the universities. You have people using tramadol, using marijuana. So you're going to destroy our Nigerian universities? It's not the basis. It's not the reason to destroy those places. If there's homelessness in the area, the government better address the issue and stop destroying people's homes.
Okay, thank you.
The thing you said for the last 10 minutes have no bearing to what we are saying.
Pardon?
Yeah, because maybe shanty is not the right word. Let me paint you a picture. There's a railway line that was protected by barbed wire.
Yes.
There's the abattoir gates. All these are done in such a way to ensure there are no visible places to live.
Yes.
The abattoir is about 1 hectare or 3 hectares. It's that big. People will now come and cut that wire to protect the rail line and put up shanties.
By the rail
They will
line.
not come in front of your house, first by selling something small. Before you know, there are now about 30 of them. You yourself cannot go into your own house. So everything you said had no bearing to the fact that issue at all. But normally government will come in, clear the place, because it's not a place, it's not a small, it's not on a swamp that you can build on. It's on the road, leave it to abattoir. And landlords have to leave their houses because these people have taken over the entire area, and you don't call that shanty. Nobody has brought down houses.
Yes.
They go after the legal structures, blocking the road and causing mayhem.
Yes, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I also want you to also understand what Mr. Ezukama is saying. What
Does it apply to this?
No, what we are saying is that at the end of the day, you still see those buildings will still erect in a short period of time because these people do not have place to sleep. Now, government should do something. If government really want to take shanties off the Lagos street, what do you need to do? Get somewhere, build, and tell whoever that wants to live should go there and live.
And stay without
You understand?
payments.
It's a long stay. It's a long term plan.
Project,
It's a long term plan.
So you cut the wires, and the local government officials see you cutting the wires. The police see you cutting the wires. They let you go in there, erect and stay. Then they come and bulldoze the place. If you don't want them to cut the wires and go in there and erect, stop them from doing it. But once a man builds a home, a man's home is a castle. You just destroy a man's home without going.
A man's home cannot be on the rail line. A man's home cannot be on the labor for a rail line. A man's home cannot be there. What kind of home are you building on the rail line? With the law says
who will build on the rail line?
Only somebody who
will destroy it.
Of course, because the law is
the train will demolish.
You guys don't want to understand me. Akogun had the right. He's correct to say what he's saying. He's wrong. These guys also consistent users.
Okay, I want to say something, please. I understand where Akogun is coming from, and he's so right. Also from your angle, because you're believing these are homes of people. Also right, you can't just chase them away. And he gave a very good suggestion. Give a long-term project, build a place, and
take them just, way to that place.
And I believe all these chances will not come up. That's just it. Okay, we have to go right now because we've said a lot. I've seen you, Eddie Nuruddin from Ikeja. Thank you so much. Every one of you sending messages. I'm sorry I can't read it. Thank you, Akogun, for joining us. Thank you, Tochukwu. It was leaking, I know. Thank you, Chief Godi, for joining us on the show. It's amazing having all of you here. Made it quite interesting. And thank you, viewers, for joining. It's been an amazing day. I will see you. Okay, not me, definitely. Patience, we'll see you tomorrow. Do have a beautiful day. Bye for now.